We've got Facebook. We've got YouTube. Together, we're streaming live on both platforms. Why? Why would we stream live today? Well, who knows what day of the week it is? It's Wednesday! That means it's New Comic Book Day. I'm here to review my pickups this week. Bunch of new books from this week. Good DC books, Marvel books. Let's go and see what we got. Let's start with DC this week. Let's start with Green Lanterns. Green Lanterns issue number 41, Superhuman Trafficking, Part 2. Green Lanterns Simon Baz and Jessica Cruz travel to the planet called Hellhole. Sounds appealing. Searching for the evil architects behind a criminal ring trading in superheroes. And an all-out brawl sees the Lanterns forced to team up one of the Omega Men. I enjoy this issue. It's fun because the superheroes, the Green Lanterns, are using a superhero dating app. It's quite interesting and quite humorous. But I enjoy this issue. I give it a 7.5 out of 10. Green Lanterns, issue number 41. We're gonna move on to, yeah, why not? Superman, issue number 41. The Last Days, Part 2. Superman and Superboy battle the alien extremists of a world on the brink of destruction in the hopes of saving them. But these aliens believe that it is their right to die, as their god is causing their death. Can Superman and Superboy save the entire species? I really enjoyed this one. It was quite an enjoyable book. Superman always inspires hope. Definitely recommend this. I give Superman 41 an 8 out of 10. Moving on to this week's issue of Super Sons, issue number 13. Now, unfortunately, I read that Super Sons was canceled, and issue 16 will be the last issue of Super Sons. So I will be getting the next 3 issues and finishing out the run. And then we will see what happens to Damian Wayne Robin and Jonathan Kent Superboy. However, in Super Sons issue 13, The Parent Trap, Part 1, Talia al Ghul returns for her son Damian, whom she trained from birth to be an assassin. With the evil Robin's past finally revealed to Superboy, it might be too much for the Sons' partnership to survive, especially when the boys find out their next victim is one of the most important people in their lives. I quite enjoy this as well. I give this issue of Super Sons 13 an 8 out of 10. I have overall enjoyed the entire run. It's quite fun. I mean, of course, with two adolescent, powerful, new superheroes, they're always going to get themselves into some fun situations. So I quite enjoyed this. Moving on to Batman and the Signal, Part 2 of 3. Gotham by Day, Part 2. The Signal, Batman's newest partner, Duke Thomas. As Bruce Wayne fulfills his corporate duties at Wayne Industries, Duke Thomas, aka The Signal, embraces his role as Gotham City's daytime protector while battling a deadly new rogues gallery. Can these teenage villains be connected to the recent metahuman population boom in the Narrows? Find out. The Signal must learn to work with a different kind of ally, the GCPD. So this is different because Batman, of course, works at night and his team works at night. But Duke is operating in the daytime. So it is quite an interesting read. I give it a 7.5 out of 10. Batman and the Signal, Part 2 of 3. Moving on to Aquaman, issue number 33. The Crown Comes Down finale. That's not Mara. With Mara's life hanging in the balance, Aquaman must find a way to bring down the Crown of Thorns. But King Wrath's forces are more resolved than ever to take down Aquaman, and time is running out before Mera pays the ultimate price. This entire run, since issue number 25, has been absolutely incredible, with Aquaman basically being an outsider and losing his throne and having to reclaim what's his. However, it's not his anymore. We may have a new queen of Atlantis. Really enjoyed this. Definitely recommend you check it out. I give it an 8 out of 10. Moving on to this week's issue of Batman number 41, which was actually a fairly quick read, but it was very highly enjoyable. Everyone Loves Ivy, part 1. Pamela Isley's influence can spread as far as vegetation will allow, putting the whole world at her fingertips. But can Batman and Catwoman stand their ground against an entire planet of poison ivy? You tell me. 8 out of 10. Wonderful issue. Started a brand new story arc about poison ivy basically controlling everyone and everything. So if you like poison ivy, here's your story arc. Finally, the last issue of DC for this week, The Brave and the Bold, issue number 1, Batman and Wonder Woman. Well, sorry, it's called The Brave and the Bold, Batman and Wonder Woman. Summonings, part 1. It was very interesting. Joe, for Batman this week, let's see. Michael Janin did the art and cover. June Chung did the color. Clayton Cowles letters. This is actually a wonderfully drawn issue of Batman. So definitely recommend you check it out. But The Brave and the Bold, Batman and Wonder Woman 1. Very interesting story. When the Celtic gods' murder leads to a war between the fairy folk and a possible breach between worlds, Wonder Woman must find the murderer and keep the peace while Batman investigates strange occurrences in Gotham City. As Diana must turn to the world's greatest detective for help, the two heroes quickly learn their cases may be connected. This was a fairly plot-heavy issue of a 6-issue miniseries, The Brave and the Bold, Batman and Wonder Woman. Pretty interesting. Didn't know what to expect, but it's pretty fun. Fairies, and it's basically a war with fairies and gods. But I recommend it, an 8 out of 10. Now, we are going to move on to this week's Marvel books. Now, we're going to say that for last. Let's move on. Let's do Deadpool versus Old Man Logan, issue number 5. This ends the 5-issue miniseries, but it is quite enjoyable. Deadpool and Old Man Logan are back at it for one more try at saving a new Omega level mutant named Maddie. But Maddie wants to take on evil weapons manufacturer Genform all on her own. She may not need any man, but Wade and Logan have never been big on listening. Also, this issue will tell you why you never want to fist bump Wolverine. Deadpool vs. Old Man Logan 5. I give it a 7.5 out of 10. Final issue in the 5-issue miniseries. Finally, from Marvel, we're gonna do my my pick of the week. This is my pick of the week for the week. This is the Mighty Thor issue number 704. Jane Foster's cancer has taken a turn for the worse. But while she faces the enemy of her own body, the man Gog runs Asgardia. Odin and his son unite to take on the ultimate judgment. But without their mightiest warrior, the time of gods may come to an end. The death of the mighty Thor is coming. Will the world survive it? Jane Foster is dying of cancer. At this point, every time she becomes Thor and picks the hammer up, she cleanses her body of the chemotherapy drugs that is fighting her cancer. So at this point, if she becomes Thor again, she will die. Thor issue 704. Give an 8 out of 5 out of 10. Jane Foster, we love you. Check it out. Now moving on to this week's Marvel Star Wars book. Dr. Aphra, issue number 17, Remastered Part 4. Aphra and her crew are launching a brand new mission, infiltrating a secret rebellion training center. Little do they know that they might be in an over their heads. Bonus, a new Rebels leader? Some specials in here. Check it out. Dr. Aphra is the breakout character from the new Star Wars comics. She already has a toy coming from her that was voted Fans' Choice that was just premiered at Toy Fair last weekend in New York. Dr. Aphra. Gonna be a big name. Check it out. I give this an 8 out of 10, issue number 17. Moving on to independent with Boom Studios' Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, issue number 24. In this issue, Billy makes a devastating discovery within the heart of Promethea that threatens to break the Power Rangers alliance with Grace, just as Finster's monsters around the world activate together. Really enjoyed this. I mean, this whole run is really amazing. Kyle Higgins has done such a great job with making the really serious and like deep. But check it out, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers issue number 24. I give it an 8 out of 10. Moving on to the final book for this week. It is another Boom Studios offering. It's a much lighter book than the last one. We're going to end with Rugrats issue number 5. Tommy, Chucky, Phil, Lil, Angelica, Susie. Babies wonder if aliens exist. Some quite interesting visuals. I will give you a sample right now of one of the visuals. When Tommy is talking to Angelica and Tommy is discovering what an alien is, we get a little visual of the babies in different aspects. And in this panel, we've got a sci-fi. We've got a Klingon. We've got an alien. We've got Jar Jar Binks. Yes, if you ever want to see Chucky Finster's Jar Jar Binks, here you go. But Rugrats issue number 5, I give it a 7.5 out of 10. Those are all the new books I have for this week. It's a good week. But I do want to go over something that came out last week. Yeah, a little movie called Black Panther. This will be a spoiler-free review. Don't worry. Um, but I thought Black Panther was really. It had its flaws though. I enjoyed the entire movie. However, from my opinion, I thought that T'Challa, Black Panther, was actually the most boring part of the movie. Other than that, he's still a great actor. I really enjoyed it. But T'Challa's already where he needs to be. Tony Stark, Thor, Ant-Man, all these characters had a character flaw, and Doctor Strange in their first appearance or first independent movie, they had a character flaw that basically they fixed. Chala's where he needs to be. So it's kind of a different kind of more of his origin story. It's not really an origin story, but it's basically a origin story for the Black Panther in the MCU. But it was very enjoyable. I highly recommend everyone go see it. I mean, it's already made. It's already set records for the February box office. Um, but it's very enjoyable. I recommend you go see it. Other than that, that's all I have for this week. Next week, same time, same book reviews, different books. That's the key. I hope everyone had a wonderful time. Remember, we are live streaming on Facebook and YouTube, FaceTube, UBook, together, independently, together, live streaming on both. May the force be with everyone. Have a good night. Bye, John. Bye, John. Hi, Google. Hi, Google.